What's up, y'all? It's your girl B Nicole, and welcome back to B Nicole Inspiring Souls. This video is going to be 15 random but interesting facts about myself. So let's just jump right in, and if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at the list. All right, let's go. So, no judgment, okay? No judgment zone. Okay, number one, I am obsessed with Chick-fil-A. I think at one point I was actually eating a Chick-fil-A every day. It's not the case now. I've cut back some just for budget purposes, but I love Chick-fil-A. My go-to is number 3, 12 count large. I switch up the drink between sweet tea and lemonade, and I have to have 2 packs of ranch. And with Chick-fil-A, I actually became I reached my red status, and so I was able to go and actually tour their headquarter facility in Atlanta, which was so dope. And it's funny because my family had been picking with me about eating Chick-fil-A so much, but I think they had more fun on the tour than I did. Number 2, I was actually a merchandising major in college, so I studied fashion and like the history of fashion and textiles. And because my major fell under like human environmental sciences, I also took some food and service management courses. I took like an interior design course, a child development course. So there were other courses that I took, but I actually studied fashion and wanted to be a buyer, and I wanted to live in Atlanta because I felt like that was close enough home. Number 3 is I only buy y'all what's on clearance. It used to be because that's all that I could afford, and now I think it's more so like a competition with myself, like how cute can I make an outfit for the low. Just about everything that I buy is on clearance. I hardly ever buy anything full price. The jeans I have on right now, I got for $10 at Old Navy, and I love these because they just like slide on. Like they're so fab and they fit so good. This top came from Target out of their Who What Wear collection, and this came, I think this was like $12. These earrings, now I did pay full price for these. If I'm gonna pay full price for something, it's gonna be earrings. Number 4, I almost went to jail for 90 days for reckless driving. So it's a crazy story, but I'll give you the very short and sweet version. I was headed to my sister was in high school, and I was headed to her cheer camp, which was in Auburn. So I was driving from Florence. I was pulled over in Clanton, and the state trooper who pulled me over said that I was going 170-mile zone, and he gave me the ticket, and like the last thing he said was, "Is you do know you can go to jail for this, right?" I don't know if that was like one of those things where he was just trying to like be Mr. Tough Guy. But anyways, I honestly wasn't like concerned until I showed up in court, because they wouldn't let you pay the ticket online. Showed up in court, and the 3 people whose name was called out in front of me also had reckless driving, and the judge sent them to jail for 90 days. And then she was like, "Brittany Jordan," and I get up there and she was like, "Do you have an attorney representing you?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "You better find one, or you too will spend 90 days in jail." I had never ever been so terrified in my life, but I have not gotten a ticket since then. Oh, I was a majorette in college, which I don't think a lot of people know, but yeah, I started twirling. I think my mom put me in twirling lessons when I was like 4 years old, and I twirled all through high school for 4 years. And then I also twirled my alma mater, the University of North Alabama, located in Florence, Alabama, and I twirled there for 2 years. It was the best experience ever. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to do so, People always wonder why I stopped twirling. There was a weight requirement for the auxiliaries, and most people who were in the band, or even if you weren't in the band, you were aware of this weight requirement. And it wasn't necessarily about your weight. I mean, it was, but it was really about your my first year, it was about the weight. So first year I had to be within this range, and I think my range, y'all, was like, I feel like it was 125 to 130. If I have a picture, I'll try to post it. But that was the first year. First year, I was obviously over that. And I think I needed to lose 5 pounds. I was able to, I got hooked up with the fitness coordinator. And I still think the world of her to this day, because she was so patient with me, and she also wanted to educate me so that I was, doing this the healthy way, and that I didn't start doing all of these diet fads where the weight would just come back. But I lost the 5 pounds in my first year. After that, I had no more issues. Second year, we went to what was like your body fat percentage, and you had to be 21% or under. So that required like your weight, and they would, go into this like machine. And I remember you would just hold the machine like this with your thumbs, and it would do its thing, and you would just want it to be 21 or under. Second year, I struggled so much. We would like have weigh-ins on like Monday, and then we would have like another weigh-in on, I feel like, what was Thursday maybe, and the goal was that you wanted to make weigh-in on Monday because you didn't want to have to weigh in again on Thursday. But if you didn't make weigh-in on Thursday, you would have to, you wouldn't be able to perform. And I somehow pushed through. I'd had a lot of weigh-ins on Thursday, but I, made it, was in the clear. And until the very last performance of the year, which we, UNA would have to perform if there was a championship game being held at Brawley, and there was that year, and I did not make weigh-in, and I had to still show up and stand on the sideline. And it was just something about in that moment, like something about in that moment of having to stand on the sideline and know that I wasn't on the sideline for an injury or some sickness, but simply because, a machine said that I was over, which I don't knock the program, for having, the measures that it had in place. It definitely kept me disciplined and focused, but it was just something about that particular experience that made me be like, I think there's other things that I could do on this campus that wouldn't stress me out as much. So that was my sophomore year, my last year. But being a major in college was a wonderful experience, and I would probably do it again. Number 6. So I commute to work every day. I live in Birmingham, Alabama, and I work in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And that's roughly like, from where I stay now, it's a good hour and 10-minute drive. It can be done in an hour, but obviously at some point I've picked up the speed a little. But I used to live in Hoover, and when I lived in Hoover, it was like 45 minutes. So I've been making this commute since October 2017. Oh my gosh, it's been that long. Yeah, October 2000, is it 17 or 18? No, it's October 2017. That's crazy. Yeah, I love it. It gives me just time to like prepare for the workday. Number 7, I attend the Miss Alabama pageant every year in Birmingham, and I've been doing so since 2013. It's always held the first weekend in June, and sometimes it falls within my birthday will actually fall. My birthday's June 7th, and typically the pageant will somewhere fall around my birthday. So I love going to the Miss Summer pageant. Number 8, I don't listen to the radio, y'all. It started out where it was like something that I chose to actually fast from. And yeah, I just never picked it back up. So I do not listen to the radio. Number 9. Okay, I have never ever had an alcoholic drink. My grandfather, whom I adored and loved and had so much respect for, he was so supportive, so loving. He was always so just proud of my sister and I, and he would always give me words of wisdom, words of encouragement, and he used to tell me all the time, you need to do your own thinking. Like, that was his like number one advice. I feel like honestly, like, that's where my advice, inspiration, drive came from, because he used to have all of these sayings. He started smoking and drinking at a really early age, and it affected his health poorly. He passed away in 2013, but at one point he got really sick, and I remember the doctors honestly didn't think he was gonna make it, so they had called all the family in. And I remember when I was in the room, I was really young. I had to be like 7 or 8 years old, and he, was just keeping it real, as he always did, and just telling me that this is what, the drinking and the smoking, this is what it had done to him. He never wanted me to end up in this predicament. And for some reason, he pulled through, but for some reason that conversation stuck with me. So I have never had an alcoholic drink. I probably would have had a little something when I turned 21, but I was an orientation leader that year, and we actually had orientation that day. Never had an alcoholic drink. I feel like one day I will. I just don't know when that one day will be. Number 10, y'all, I have not set an alarm since October 2018. So you're gonna say, well, like, how do you get up? Y'all, it's literally just the Lord himself. Around that time where like I was praying about bold and operating with faith, and I was, asking God just to assist me in this area, to just keep being bold, continue to trust him regardless of my circumstances. And it started out where it's like it was an accident, or I forgot to set an alarm, because I used to be the alarm queen, where I had to set multiple alarms to get me up in time. But yeah, I don't have any alarm set. It's the craziest thing, because even now sometimes like I still get nervous when like I maybe like go to bed later but have to be up earlier for work or for an event. But y'all, the Lord always comes through. So yeah, I haven't set an alarm since October 2018. Crazy. And the beautiful thing about it is that like it's honestly the like best reminder to kick off the day is like God provides, God cares, and it is simply the Lord himself who wakes me up. Number 11. Okay, I don't take medicine of any kind, okay? Do I get sick? Well, I'm human, so yes, there have been periods where I have gotten sick. And also, I'll give a little quick insert here as well. It's maybe a little TMI, but like, I used to have really horrible cramps in college. Like, I used to pop Midol like it was nobody's business. It was just like pop. And like, I was realizing that I was going through a full pack a day. I thought, this is probably not healthy. You should probably slow your roll a little. And it was in college when I stopped taking medication. Nothing against people who do take medicine. My family, they take medicine. Again, No judgment zone. Number 12, y'all, I started watching football because of a guy. So there was this cute guy, y'all, and he was trying to holla, and we were on the phone one night, tell that he was watching a game like in the background. I wanted to sound hip, so what I did was I turned on the game that he was watching just from listening, y'all, because I'm trying to impress him. And I turned on the game, and the like I had the captions come up on the TV, so I was able to engage in a full conversation with him about football, but not because I knew what I was talking about, simply because I was just reading the screen and using that to formulate, very educated responses. It's crazy now, but I do love football. Number 13, I used to compete in pageants. A really late start with competing in pageants, and I won some scholarship money in college because of my pageant wins or pageant placement. So number 14, y'all, I've been to Disneyland in Anaheim and I had so much fun. I actually went, y'all, for the Freezy, which is crazy. So there was a work conference this past year in December. It was in Anaheim, California. My coworker I was rooming with had a family member who works at Disney who got us some passes. So my very first time in Cali, first time at Disneyland, and the only thing I paid out of pocket was the $15 to give us fast pass access. Y'all, I had so much fun. I was like a little kid in the candy store. Number 15, what I want to be when I grow up, I want to be a host slash spokesperson slash motivational speaker when I grow up. So that is that's the end goal. Yeah, hope that you enjoyed. Those are like the top 15 random but very interesting facts about myself. I can't wait to hear the responses. But again, y'all, thank y'all so much for subscribing to the channel, liking, sharing, commenting. Y'all know I'm having way too much fun with it. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.